Mr. Toastmaster, today Brett is speaking from the Public Relations Manual, Project 2, the Radio Talk Show. And his objectives are: present a positive image of you and your company or organization on a simulated radio talk show. Prepare a talk designed to build goodwill toward an organization by presenting factual information. Understand the dynamics of a successful radio talk show. Prepare the questions that may be asked of you during the radio interview. So his time for the presentation is 3 to 5 minutes, and then there will be 2 to 3 minutes for questions and answers.
Very good. Our timer? Got that?
It's not a 3 to 5.
What's the closest to it?
4 to 5.
Is there a 4 to 6?
4 to 6.
There's a
4 to 5.
4 to 30. Okay.
Perfect.
What do we have?
4 to 6?
4 to 6.
4 to 6? Okay. Today, we are all members of the listening audience of the radio talk show Talk Tech. As you listen, think of questions you may have for the expert, and be prepared to call the radio station and ask your questions. Today, Brett Patterson will be a guest on the radio talk show. Jimmy Winters is the radio commentator.
Welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, Jim Winters. In the studio with us today is renowned cloud services expert and evangelist Brett Patterson. He has helped hundreds of companies and individuals make the transition to the cloud. How are you today, Mr. Patterson?
Doing great. Thanks for having me, Jim.
Please tell us, what exactly is this cloud we hear so much about, and why would we want to use it?
Would love to. Let's start, before I really talk about the cloud, let's understand today what you do with your computer at home, the one sitting at your desk for work. All of that information that you have on that computer is stored on that computer. When you create a new document, when you send an email, when you put your pictures and you download your pictures from your camera onto your computer, all of that information sits on that computer. Now, if you need to get any of that information when you're not sitting at that particular computer, you're out of luck. You either have to take it and put it onto a little thumb drive that you can carry with you so you can plug it into somebody else's computer if you need it. If you don't have a computer available to you, even that thumb drive's doing you no good. What the cloud gives us now is the same basic idea. It's really a place to store all that information. The only difference is now, rather than storing it on a machine sitting under your desk or on your desk, you're storing it out on a machine that is kept in a data center. A data center is nothing more than a large building with a lot of computers in it and a lot of capability of storing lots and lots of information. By transmitting that data across over the internet and storing that data in these data centers in this cloud, now you're able to access it anywhere. And not just from any computer. You're able to start accessing it now from your smartphone, from a tablet. Anywhere you have access to the internet, now you can start getting that information. Have you ever been stuck in a position where you had that really important document or that really awesome picture that you wanted to show to somebody, but it's on your computer at home and you can't get it out? That's what the cloud gives us that ability to do now. Now I can take my pictures, I can put them up onto a cloud service where they're all stored, and when I get into a position where somebody says, hey, how do your kids look? Are they growing? I can quickly pull that picture up on my phone and show them. Rather than having to hold my laptop out, open it up, get it fired up, and be able to then scroll through where those pictures are stored on that machine, they're now stored in a positioned place where I can access them with any device that has access to that internet. It all started for me when pictures are a great example because I had an external hard drive plugged into my computer at my desk that I put all of my pictures on, everything. One day, that external hard drive started making a great big clicking noise. And if you know anything about computers, when you hear that clicking noise on a hard drive, it means that hard drive is pretty much gone. And that's where I got stuck. So now I have hundreds and hundreds of pictures that I've lost. They're gone. So what I've done is I've now started taking all of those pictures and I store them up in a cloud service. I actually use a service from Google called Picasso Web Albums, and I just store all of my pictures up there so that now I can access them anytime, anywhere I want to. It makes it real easy. I know that I've got plenty of storage space. I know that because of the particular service I'm using, they're safe, they're secure. I know that I can, if anything happened, I'll be able to get them back. I can download them, I can share them out with friends and family. So not only do I don't have to burn CDs to ship off to the grandparents anymore, I just send them a link to a web album that I've shared with them. Keeps all that data secure, keeps all that data easily accessible. I've also shown how taking companies to this cloud-based service. So now, rather than people taking that huge presentation they put together and emailing it around to everybody in the company, so everybody now has different copies of this because they each make their own changes. They all share a link to that one presentation, and everybody's seeing the exact same presentation every time, and they can track and collaborate on that presentation, keep their edits up to date, and it keeps everything moving along in a real simple and easy way. Cloud has created so many more opportunities for businesses to collaborate, for individuals to store their data, and to even share that data with friends and family members.
Well, great, thank you, Brett. So now we'd like to take a few calls. Okay, John Green is the caller. You're online with Brett Patterson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patterson. Yesterday I was talking with my good friend Leo Laporte, who you know is a tech writer, and we were talking about cloud failure. And we've had situations where server farms have gone down. Siri was out for 2.5 to 3 days last week. Can you comment on that?
Keep in mind that the whole idea of the cloud is still fairly new. In a way, the public cloud is really what is fairly new. And you're talking about services that are now being provided in a way that change and can change constantly. Some of these services, like Siri, which is a brand new service, may not have quite been ready for the amount of attention it was going to get right off the bat. One of the best parts of the cloud, though, is it is so supple in nature that it can bend and adapt, and it adapts very quickly. So, yeah, there have been a few little outages, a few little issues, but it's still way better than what would have happened if your own server would have crashed at work.
We have time for just one more call. Mr. Jim Dane, you're online with Brett Patterson.
Yes, Brett, in today's sad world of cyber attacks, how secure would the cloud be to protect against cyber attacks and your information getting out in the public domain?
That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked it. I've been waiting for this one. First off, when you decide on a cloud service, you want to really make sure you're at who it is you're looking at. Really look towards a lot of the larger providers, the ones you've heard of. Google, for instance, Microsoft, Apple, IBM, all offer some cloud service options. One of the things to keep in mind as far as security around these large organizations is their data centers and the way they store their data is done in a much more secure fashion than if you were storing them on your own personal computer or if you were storing them on your company's servers. The reason being is because they have multiple data centers distributed across large geographic areas, they actually break your data into multiple pieces and store pieces of each piece of information in different data centers. When you sign into that service to pull that data back, it then goes out and pulls each of those pieces back based on who you are and reassembles them before they're delivered to you. Much more secure than most IT organizations can do for their own company.
Well, that's our time for today. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Patterson, and always thank you for listening to Tech Talk.